And of course, the old discovered mate, I would actually like to call this the Reti mate, right? Where he sacked his queen on d8 and played bishop to g5 and bishop to d8 when the king ran to c7, as there were pawns here, rook on this square, knight on that square. So the Richard Reti mate followed by the...
Start at the beginning. Basically, you're going for an AP class in chess when you study Kasparov or Magnus. And if you've not passed all of your primary school classes, your fundamentals, your absolute basics, which are Lasker, Capablanca, Morphy, Alekhine, then it becomes very difficult to jump into science at a higher level. Studying the game in its entirety is the way to go. You have to develop all parts of your game equally in order to increase in strength, because opponents are going to be weak in various areas of the game, and if you can win 2 out of 3 of the areas of the game, then like on American Idol or any of those voting survivor shows, you will move on to the next. Coordination on a daily basis is always going to benefit you.
Arsenal fan Richie said, "Those bishops are pretty respectable."
They are, aren't they? Where are you going now? And I get a full rook out of this mess because we set up
Nope,
this
not an opening mistake.
little trap.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, grasshoppers. Justine Kirkut, good morning. Justine Kirkut is from Kenya. Excellent. And because of the TV at the end of the Justine Kirkut, I wonder if Justine is a streamer and if they are watching. Let's make sure that our thingamajiggies are here. Let's test our... Let's speak French. Let's see if she speaks French.
Check out the amazing publisher, Chess Informant. The most important chess publications and combinations download.
Check out the
Even more
amazing
info.
publisher Chess
Check out
Informant
more special pricing.
https
Plus my
sahovsky.com the
YouTube
most important
Informant
chess
playlist.
publication SEC combinations download https sahovsky.com download C25,038,055 even more info. Streamlabs said. https nchessbase.com post the power of information the Chess Informant check out more special pricing https informant publishing.com products plus my YouTube Informant playlist. Streamlabs said.
Oh my gosh.
https www.youtube.com playlist list plqw eds p7 yaflas 6i90
Let's play this.
RUU1 Chiaki.
Let's play this very dangerously. Queen to g4 is normally the move, by the way, in that particular situation. Queen to g4 is absolutely and essentially the normal way to play. And I am getting into trouble here. There's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no way about it. There's no way around it. Let's just put it that way. If I'm going to actually get my stuff developed. Mm-hmm. 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 Do I dare? Let's go for it. Let's keep the pressure on the rook. walking into the potential of my queen is very precariously placed, yes? We're just going to pretend as though nothing is happening. Maybe something is happening. Not too pleased about it. Not too pleased about it at all. So here, there, so knight takes, bishop takes. Rook takes. Let's go in this direction.
I accidentally sent my message on Twitch. How's it going?
On Twitch, yeah, I know. Isn't that annoying? Good morning. Good morning, sir. And we do need to watch out for another discovery. Let's just keep it up. Let's cross our fingers that we can keep it up. Ye gods, folks. Ye gods. Talk about an attack that I don't like. Here, there, and yonder. My queen is unprotected. That part I have to take care of at least once. Is this going to amount to anything? At the very least. And now for something completely indifferent at all. This doesn't really mean anything, obviously. I have to grab a couple of things along the way and then hope that I have a rook and a minor piece. Whoa. Now it's a rook and a knight. Now it is a rook and a knight. I don't like it. It's going to take some doing here to coordinate these pieces.
Hoping my bad mojo from yesterday is gone. I was able to get some of my points back, but even my last game, I just made 2 really bad mistakes, lol.
Well, I hope it's gone as well, to tell you the truth. So here, there. Did not expect it to go that way, to be honest. Expecting the further weaknesses to be probed. On the other side. Really? I don't have much of a choice here. Can I allow that to happen? Well, it looks rather interesting. Am I getting overworked? I am getting overworked. It's all about piece coordination at this point, Jerry. There's nothing I can do to stop that pawn from being taken, right? Not at all, it seems. Missing queen takes
4,
f6.
3, 2, 4,
Missing queen takes f6.
2, 3, 2, 4, 4,
The knight is holding fast.
4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4,
Everything is unprotected.
2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3,
Yeah, mated.
4,
Missing mate in 1.
2, 4,
Missing mate in 1. Good job, Justine. That was a terrible winnower. We're going to do a lot of work on the winnower. I can tell you exactly how many winnowers I have played, which is not many. That's exactly.
You hung out for a long time.
Yeah, I did. I wasted a whole 1/3 of the arena. That was loud. Let's turn down the music just a little bit. Namaste, Pegasus. Good morning, Ron. Ron experiencing some technical difficulties. I don't know if I need that many knight f3s. But we'll see. And it looks as though we've transposed into something of a semi-terrace Moran. This was a terrible move on my part, but it may not matter. Knight to b4, bishop moves, a3, knight back. Usually this transposes. There is no gain of time. He moves the knight twice. I move the bishop twice. We're both relatively happy in this particular regard. Only drawback is that I get a little bit of a tempo. Or do I? Do I even get a tempo? I don't know. Not sure I even get a tempo now that I think about it. Should we keep the isolated pawn? I'm going to keep the isolated pawn. I actually prefer the isolated pawn. Because we're striving for other distinct advantages. No, that wasn't a good idea. That was not a good idea. I was going to play bishop f3 first. Yes, yes. But let's see what we can do to ride it out. Let us see what we can do to ride it out. Maybe, just maybe, we will be pleasantly surprised, Booby, with a fork on 2 bishops when he reacts incorrectly to the exchanges. All right, so there's some Gegenspielen. I will have to live with it. I will have to live with it, Booby. Where is that bishop going? To d4? We will see. As I pretend to ignore what is going on. More stuff falls. We try to coordinate our pizzas. Chess. I don't like it one bit. It is better to be lucky than good. However, I will take good every time. Rook takes, knight takes, rook takes. We need to simplify this just a little bit. I don't want any funny business. That was interesting. Who is pitting home? Booby. And now for something completely inane. So he gets that check and that takes. Some things are not so well protected. I might get lucky here. That's all it is. Absolute, pure, unadulterated luck. Absolute and pure, unadulterated luck. Well, Ruh-roh did not see my threat. It was a fork. Sorry, Jerry Goose.
GG.
The secret was told to me by FIDE Master, International Master-elect, Asa Hoffman. Good friend of Bobby Fischer's and all of the players of that era, Bernard Zuckerman, Bill Lombardi. Asa Hoffman and I are still friends. I should be doing an interview with him. If anybody's going to be talking on a podcast, it would be him. He told me the secret to becoming a good player or being a good player is to choose your opponents carefully. I would like to be one of those opponents that people do not choose. Wow, Sindarov is the new World Cup champion. Let's take a look at what happened in that match. Do we have enough time? We have 13 minutes. We can at least take a quick peek over there. As the World Cup has ended, it is official. Sindarov in first place, Wei Yi in second place, and the winner of the playoff. Where the heck is this broadcast? I tell you, they should make it a lot easier. Did I subscribe to it? Let's take a look. There it is. At least now I've gotten it. So, finals. Esipenko. Yes. In straight sets. Andrei Esipenko. So the finalists for Justine, how are you? Drop me a message when you grow up. I want to know exactly how long this is going to take. By the way, you can be a titled player now. You do not have to wait until you grow up. I have one young man who needs a babysitter who's super, super strong. I believe he might be. I'm just going to throw it out there. His rating is around 2100 plus lead chess. And he's 7. So I believe, Justine, that you can make it now. I have dedicated all of my life, all of my energy, all of my career, especially my career, to helping others become better players. And I can only hope to help you. If you'll let me. That was a good clip. Let's see what that says. I have dedicated all of my life, all of my energy, all of my career, especially my career, to helping others become better players. And I can only hope to help you. If you'll let me.
Do it!
Pegasus SWB, and especially for subscribing for 53 months.
That was a very good
Ruby
clip.
Riddles said, "Hello."
Namaste for the 53 months, Pegasus. I think of all of the people that I feel terrible about the conversion to Kick as I do more streams on Kick.
Ruby Riddles
It is
Can you play with me?
Pegasus Ruby. Yes, absolutely. You can join the dojo. Here I play all
Okay,
viewers.
Thank you, I go.
Please check out the amazing power of the
Streamlabs
dojo.
said, "Join the dojo to get notifications of scheduled events which always feature an increment and a time control worth learning from https://lichess.org team master chess dojo. It's about doing your best." Streamlabs said, "Applying yourself daily. Also join Master Chess Dojo Rapid Classical https.
We're going to have to do something about all of these bots.
Rapid Classical lastly Daily Dojo Bullet." Streamlabs said, https://lichess.org team master chess dojo 960. Streamlabs said, "Join the dojo to get notifications of scheduled events which always feature an increment."
What in the world is going on here,
from
folks?
https://lichess.org team master chess dojo. It's about doing your best. Streamlabs said, "Applying yourself daily. Also
Oh
join
my
Master
God.
Chess Dojo Rapid Classical https://lichess.org team master
Oh
chess
my
dojo
God.
Rapid Classical lastly Daily Dojo Bullet."
John Utool Podcast.
Streamlabs said, https://lichess.org team master chess dojo 960.
I honestly thought you'd forgotten about me there, Roken.
This would be a hell of a clip.
Which part? The tool clip? Let's go this way. Let's outpost our knight and see what we get. I don't like moving the same piece twice in the opening, let alone the same.
You ignore Twitch chat.
I have slightly converted.
And Discord. And WhatsApp.
Oh, wait a minute. If you're talking about your if you're talking about your inference here. If you're talking about your inference, let's just try to hang on to this for a moment as we plunder, as we continue to plunder and see what we can get. On this front. Now we're outposting our knight for what it's worth. This knight has had a hell of a journey from f3 for a pawn. Now I am the one on the back foot.
There are dead people with a better upload schedule.
Indeed, Rogan. Indeed. Should have played bishop to b5 when I had the chance. But let us go for it. We need to catch up in development. He's having a trickier time. A much trickier time, movie. And now he has three things attacking this queen. And do I have anything? Do I dare trade once? I think I have to trade once. And then we will rejoin the party already in progress. If only I knew for a fact that I had to move b4, but I don't know that for a fact, unfortunately. Interesting. This is a fork. This is a fork. Is it still a fork? It looks like it's still a fork. It is still a fork, movie. Wow, that was weird. Is my king in the center going to be worth it? That is the question. Is my king in the center? Oh no, he got me anyway. That's terrible. Tragic, I tell you. Let's batten down the hatches. I don't like it one bit. It's such trouble. Let's get boogieing. Boogie, boogie, woogie.
I
Yes.
just realized I need to start doing my Chessable daily again.
Speaking of dead people, I think Charlie Kirk is still uploading. If you're listening to him long enough, you will actually appreciate his uploads. That's how brainwashing works. All right, let's give the French a whirl. I'm gonna give the winnower a whirl. We're going with the really old queen to c7 line. In the 1960 World Championship match between Tal and what? This is such a very unusual position. Even more unusual. Oh no, you have that? That is awkward. Very, very awkward. But don't worry, we have more as well. We have more as well, Boogie. Do I really want to trade for that terrible piece, though? I guess I can always go back. We'll batten down the hatches. We will batten down the stinking hatches. The stinking hatches. And now for something completely illiterate. Let's see what we can do here. He's going to give me a checkup. Yeah, that wasn't good.
LOL.
Chessable Daily, absolutely. How am I doing in this tournament, of all things? Terribly. Oh, Evgeny hit me at the post. That game was too slow. Too old, too slow. Justine Kirkut. Very, very good. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, we have, I have to see what just happened with the broadcast that we were looking at. Congratulations, by the way, to Justine Kirkut.
Still not doing too great, it seems. I don't mind losing, but am playing some horrible losing games.
Well, trust me, we go through these cycles all the time. The number one reason why we study endgames, by the way, I would recommend Arkell's Endgames. I don't necessarily know that it's such a great book, but it is also very entertaining, and it is very positional in a sense, because if you can find the plans that he finds and do the reviews, it is worth it. Well, hey, darn it. Got the English keyboard on all of a sudden. I've noticed that I can't cut and paste
Not
in this.
over 2,000 rapid yet.
Am I over 2,000 rapid yet? No, I lose to the students on the 7 o'clock arena when Berserky. Then I lose 30 points and I gain like 5 points a week. We should actually do. I really hate my keyboard because I have an English computer, a computer from England. It has the @ sign and the quotation symbols. See what that is? It won't let me paste. Isn't that weird? How it knows that I've pasted, cut and paste. I'm going to try the first line. Congrats. At Justine Kirkut TV. Control C. All right, I give up.
For following Luxiv too.
Thank you, Lucy. Version 2. Lucy, one of my favorite movies. How are you? Be sure to follow the dojo. I'm afraid to type anything. I am. Because we're going to get it 3 times over from the speech chat.
Streamlabs.
Hey, I love your stream
said,
as a streamer.
Based
Would love
in
to support
NYC,
you.
former president
Add
of
up
the
on
Marshall
Discord
Chess
to
Club.
share tips, experiences, and chill. My username is Lukey001.
Oh no, I hope this is not spam. It is from Kick, which is unfortunately 60% spam at the moment. I don't necessarily know how this works with all of these bots, but Lukey, if you are a real person, you have to message me a little bit less publicly. Perhaps a whisper. Watch broadcasts. Hold on, I didn't really get a chance to give Justine Kirkut TV their due. Oh, they got through Ron. Let's see the game with Ron. So yeah, this is Master Chess Dojo is black. So interestingly enough, I perform
Sounds lit
okay.
to me, John, haha.
Exactly. Here we go. Well, I don't perform very well against E4, probably because of my recent forays. in the French for the most part. I should be well over 62%. So, for example, some of these moves, like B3 is the move to play against me, it appears. But only 2 people have played B3 against me. Is this true? What? Now, there are 231 games. I don't know what this percentage is. The number of possible gambits. The number of possible gambits according to lead chess tools. And what is this thing? Move evaluation. So this is the constant on the engine evaluation. 47, 46. I guess that percentage isn't so bad. In any event, against E4, I've been resisting playing the Sicilian and the Caro-Kann for some time. That leaves only a few choices. E6, E5, G6, and or Knight F6 are all the same. At least I've got them over 200. I need to get D6, D5, the Owen's defense, the Nimzovit's defense. Well, that's interesting. I could probably try to get the Nimzovit's defense in. I have ideas there. Apparently, I have an amazing score with Knight C6. I can bring that down. How did I make this all about me? I was pretty much convinced that I was going to be forcefully retired from the podcast game recently. Wow, White just dived right into those weak squares the moment A6 was played. Yuck. So what is the story here? C5 is not a good move. But after D takes C5 and all of these weak squares, I guess I'm getting, Rana's getting slimed a lot like I got slimed. By putting my queen on a terrible square. I can't tell you how often I've lost my queen to Ron. It's uncanny. Is that really necessary? 2 pieces for the rook to get mobile pawns, and then to trade the rooks. And the queens.
Forcefully retired?
Forcefully retired. I have too many projects in the works, Rogan. Was King E5 better? I felt like King E5 was better. All right, now there's some counterplay. Now Black has some counterplay because of that king move. So everything is good here until that king move. Now we have counterplay. So honestly, here it goes. Now Black is actually winning. So you had one chance and one chance only to return the favor here because you're winning this king and pawn ending. So therefore the king has to move. And when the king moves, the pawn is no longer hanging. So this king has to move to a square that is not F6, in my opinion. But if you move to a square that is not F6, then everything is covered appropriately with Knight E4. So if you go to F6, now the bishop gets to attack with the free, without abandon the A6 pawn. And this knight is able to cover. fairly easily. Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. King e5, bishop b7. I guess we are able to cover. This pawn is always hanging, though. It's a tough call. King e5, just king c3, huh? How clever is that?
GN.
Good night, Roken. Good to see you, buddy. How is this pawn going to be stopped from queening? Wait, why did we take the bishop when we could have promoted the pawn? I mean, king takes e6 is a good move, but we could just promote the pawn. Right? Like the only move in this position is possibly what? Bishop to c4? Now, there's no good move here. There's just no good move. It's rather tragic and sad all at the same time. So, just to be clear here, we're on the Justine Kirkut side, right? And Black managed to win this a little bit the old-fashioned way. No, boo! I would have gone for this, that, and queen to a1 mate for style points. Get the pieces as far away from the king in order to checkmate him as possible. Fair enough. Let's just take a quick gander at the broadcast. At the last game. Oh, not the first, not Eric Geising. So I mean. We're looking at the final. The final. So Esipenko won against, turn this off so we can look at it in peace to a great extent. And also, my stuff is white. I somewhat want to see my stats as white. E4, D4, knight C3, and knight F3. So I'm working on knight F3 a little bit. I'm giving F4 a break until we give a bit more study. But knight F3, F4, C4. We're over 300 on B3 now. I recently played a B3. We can probably play D3 and bring our stats up there. Quite a bit. G4 is over 60%, so we need to bring our stats up over 60% on B3, D3, H3, F3, A4. That's it. Of the first 20 moves that I've played, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I played all the first 20 moves. And knight A3 seems to be a little bit like there are no draws in here whatsoever. 0 draws. That's hard to believe. Knight H3. No draws with knight H3. Wow. And how many draws with knight A3? Apparently people respect knight A3. So if I had to guess, 20 games, 65%, it's 1 draw. in this crowd. 5 wins. Wait, looks like there might be 2 draws. I saw another one. Oh no, that was just this bar. Yes, 1 draw among 20 games. For night A3. In any event, Sindarov, Sicilian, 4 knights. I'm glad that White won this game. This reminds me of Carissa Yip's game with Ruxin Yang, I believe, that almost cost her her previous to last U.S. championship title, where Jennifer Yu had to win from a losing position against someone who should have won. And I'm not really a fan of this particular Sicilian as black, if you haven't already guessed, primarily because I just don't like the structure and the coordination. I'm not a huge fan of E6 Sicilians in general. But is there a draw in here? With Rook D1 check, was there a possible draw in here? Rook D1 check, King, Rook E1 is forced. Then Knight H2, King E2. No draw. Terrible spot for the Knight. Black is just better. Slightly better. He made it in. Ouch. Oh my God. He trapped the Knight. He just literally trapped the Knight. This Knight had to go back to C5 to at least have a shot. Right? Let's take a look at the engine. I mean, obviously white is clearly better. Knight to C5, bishop C5, rook C5, king D3. Yeah, the white has just too many pawns. Too many pawns. Ironically, a young man played a very similar system, and I played a very similar system. I was on the black side, and I managed to draw with the black pieces only through super Herculean effort. More fork. Yeah, you missed a knight E4 fork to hold that game. But the end game was better for you, Ron. You just had to trust it. Wow. And now you get to see Sindarov beating Wei Yi. So we look at it from the black side, without the engine, of course. After the move E4, Master Dojo is white. Sicilian. Looks like knight F6. I did not have such a great score against the Alicon. We're going to work on that. I guess it's because I have too many choices of what I want to play. That is the problem. When I have too many choices of what I would like to play, then I tend to be a little waffly. And it doesn't seem so bad. Well, after E4, E5, how many King's Gambits do I have? Only 139. That's terrible. 60 knight c3s. And 53 d4s. I really didn't like how Wei Yi played this. What did Wei Yi do wrong? Well, the first mistake was bishop c4. This is just not a I must win this game option. This is I believe I'm a better player. I'm going to be arrogant enough to say, I can do nothing against you, and I will win. However, if you play this move, me, myself, my coach, and all of my ancestors are against you, and you are fighting the #1 opening of all time, played by when I was really learning and coming up in the game. This is played by 19 out of 20 grandmasters. Now it's not played by 19 out of 20 grandmasters because grandmasters have somewhat given up hope on playing for a win for white. However, I do believe in the comfort advantage. And this is the second mistake. So already black has 2 levels up. And as a result, this is somewhat forced, to be honest, because if white plays a move like c3, then black is going to play d5. I believe I've been on the black side of this. I've played this 7 times as black. I've won every single time. I don't understand what advantage white can get out of this because this move should have been played earlier. Just have to trust yourself in the old school theory. That's all there is to it. You have to trust yourself in the old school theory and cross your fingers because right now, white is pedaling backwards, and I don't care what the evaluation bar says, but by comfort advantage, black is slightly more comfortable. So he's got the better side of equality, regardless of what this says. Black is expanding. Black has an outposted knight. This knight is worth more than a bishop. These 2 bishops are not really there yet. They're just not there yet. So as a result, where did that move come from? Oh, I clicked on the grid on the right. And all black really needs to do is start trying to expand, and that's what he does. This knight on g3 was just very funny looking. I'm not sure why these rooks are doubling at all, because it seems like they're not going to get anything, especially after that move. And now all of white's pieces look like, you know what white really needs? White needs a knight on f1 and a queen on h1. That seems to be the easiest way to try to reset these pieces. Bishop back to c1, and the rook on e2 can go back to d1. Oh, okay, we've accomplished the first part. Now, can we play queen h2, queen h1, and knight h2 just to cap off the icing on the cake? Oh, maybe he's playing rook e1 next. Knight returns to that horrible square. White is at a loss for a plan. It is clear and obvious. He finally embarked on his way. I believe he was in massive time trouble for a 15-minute game, I believe it was. Yeah, it was a 15-minute game. And the knight really was the MVP for black. This knight was black's MVP, as he didn't really accomplish anything until he left the board. And now there's so much pressure on white. So much pressure on white. Again, it doesn't matter what the evaluation bar says. The comfort advantage, the human advantage in comfort is looms large. Let's just put it that way. The comfort advantage looms large. He can keep massaging this position for a very long time until white tries for something, and now suddenly black has massive amounts of counterplay. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. With a slight mating net, or winning the queen net. You've got rook check, rook h3, rook e3, queen takes, pawn takes, and the lights are starting to dim on the black position. This bishop still needs to be protected. So a tempo on the queen to prevent any of the funny business defending g2. 11 seconds left, and he plays rook takes pawn when he can just tempo the rook. Guess that is a hard move to see, because this queen looks like it's coming in. Wow. Rook f8 check. Don't tell me there's a perpetual here. There is a perpetual here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a hard move to see for Wei Yi. Yeah, this is bad. We have to keep the f1 square covered. Oh man, this is painful to watch. It really doesn't matter though, honestly. This is going to be just as dangerous. Rook f3. Probably even simpler. So therefore, it's the same thing. Second first, same as the first. The rook to e1 on queen f3. He's losing his queen. And his rook, as it turns out. That was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And now, you can look at all the chess streamers that are online. I will send you over to one of them as I will take my grandson to school. We'll raid Alex. Not chess, but nonetheless, it is pretty good. Thank you all for being here. Cheers and ciao. We might be back later with an instructional stream on a Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. Ron, namaste for the 53 months. Amazing. Uh-oh. My emote wall is not set up on my ending page. What is up with that? The emote wall is missing on the ending page. Dope. No good. Well, at least I learned it here. I've got a lot